Okay, I believe we are live. The adult beverages are poor, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old.
But neither of us have a 3-year-old. But don't worry, we have an E3 2019 to talk about.
Oh,
That would have been the transition. It's like, oh, nuts.
that's
You don't
amazing.
have it. But much like we birth children, the game industry has birthed a wide selection of games for us to discuss.
Just on fire with
And
these.
just it's gonna be all it's gonna be dad puns all episode. But yeah, the E3 conference just wrapped up. Huge amount of announcements, I guess, from a dad's perspective, though. I think what we found kind of interesting is that leaving it, like we just literally reviewed everything that was released before we kind of got on the air here.
Yep.
And of all of those, we whittled them down into two categories. One is something that these are the games we're excited about.
Yes.
Right. And there's some cool coming games, like Outlanders, for instance, is one that didn't make our list. It certainly looks great, like Followed in Space. Yeah,
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
But as far as like a dad notable one where it's something we're kind of thinking about after we went through the list, it wasn't so much there. Like Jeff, what were there some of your thoughts having just gone through that list of everything announced at E3 from your own perspective and from a dad perspective?
Yeah, like you were saying, there are some heavy hitters that we've kind of known about, like Cyberpunk. We've known about that. They showed a little bit more, but there's a lot of stuff that we kind of just crossed off the list to focus on those dad picks. What we kind of got excited about, that little spirit of gaming was a little back, and what the kids might be excited about. So we note those games too. So that might be something to focus on.
Yeah, what the kids. So I guess it was kind of it's almost like we've kind of gone against ourselves in some ways, because on one hand, Doom Eternal, for instance, didn't make the list,
right?
Because or Cyberpunk 2077, because it's like, of course, those look great.
It's amazing, great.
But there's other games that made it that have been talked about on this show in ad nauseum. So it's like I said, it's just coming from a very honest dad perspective. There's no real there's no particular mathematical critique way to do this. It was
absolutely
just
not. No.
here's what we came out with. And like I said, there's the two kind of sections of how we're reviewing this. First one is us two dads. What did we come away with thinking this looks kind of cool, or we're excited about? And secondly, what would our potential kids be excited about? So what could be taking up the family living room in the coming year that was announced at this one?
That's right.
So we're going to do it no particular order besides those two lists, and we're actually going to have on the video version of this, we're going to have the trailers playing to kind of capture some of the reactions to it. So without further delay, we have The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. Yes. So this is a remake of a Game Boy game. Did you ever play this one?
Oh yeah, this is one of my faves growing up on the original Game Boy. The green screen.
Because I got confused. I thought it was A Link to the Past, like the Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can see.
They were doing a re-release of that, but like no, because I'd never played this one.
Oh no, it's brand new to you, eh?
But what struck for me was the style. This has got to be one of like the cutest looking games I've ever seen. So it's like, so since you're the one with the memories of it, like walk me through what your reaction was seeing this.
Oh, this is again, what when you think of old games that you played, you think that they look a different way, and this is kind of conjuring up those memories of what I remember the game looking like. As I probably was 8-9 years old, and they've just totally captured the spirit of it. So I'm excited to play this again. Every single scene I see in this, I remember. Like, it jogs your memory right away, which is insane. That's nuts how that does that. And just like the little touches, there's little animations and little tricks that were in the original game, and they've captured all those. So it's neat to see that come out as well. So they're redoing everything, but keeping those little moments. So I won't ruin the story for you, because it's a great one, and you should absolutely play it. And I think everyone should play this one. It's very wholesome, very Zelda. It's a good story though. It's a good one to fit in the timeline.
Well, that's amazing. So Yeah, and again, like I love how Nintendo seems to be able to pull off these surprises because it had no hint whatsoever that something like this was coming. So that was so cool
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's gonna be a great pickup, and I think a family friendly title too. Honestly, like
absolutely.
as far
Yep.
as like story, the appeal of it looks great.
Yep.
But keeping very much in the Zelda
Oh, yes.
world,
Oh,
Breath of the Wild gets a sequel.
oh,
Another
this is
like
so good.
how do they keep this under their hats? This is unbelievable.
Just even this teaser trailer, there's so much in this, and I had to go on the internets after and just the breakdown of it. And I'm so interested in this story. I didn't think they would do a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild, which it looks like absolutely they are. They're just continuing it, which to
Mm.
me, I want to be back in that world. That's great. I'm ready to go, and I'm hoping that they can get this out the door quicker because it's in that same world with that same engine, and they're not redoing everything. So I am excited, and it says now in development. So I'm hoping next year. Come on, give me another Zelda. I'll play the previous Link's Awakening, and then zip into this one. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, like I'd wonder with how many direct actual true sequels have they ever done? Because there was sorry, then that's not a
Yeah,
sequel, but it was kind of like in the same world in the exact
it's the same
control
world. Yeah,
scheme.
yeah.
Because they often seem to, it's always a jump, right? Like it's always a new type of style when they go between Zelda games. So it's almost surprising to see that they were able to dip in for a second time.
Yeah, and like if you have played through Breath of the Wild, the ending, I'm not going to spoil it, but you kind of want to feel more, like you want to still be in that world. And this is a great surprise. And like you said, I don't think they've continued too many Zeldas. I think they kind of restart um, along the timeline somewhere, but they redo it in a different engine or even a different console. So the fact that it's coming out on the same console is a welcome surprise. So.
Hmm. Now, did they mention that? Did they mention if Zelda is going to be playable? It's one
I don't
fur I heard
know.
online of whether or not like
Everybody
she might
wants
actually
it.
be playable this time.
Everybody wants it. So if they're listening, they'll do it. If they're Nintendo, then they won't do it. Nintendo does what they do. They do what Nintendo is, and it always ends up great. But I'm hoping Zelda's playable at some point in the game. That would be good to see.
Yeah, just like choose your character at the start. Like which
Yeah,
of the
why
two
not?
characters, do you want to be Link or do you want to be Zelda? Like
If it's some sort of
it's like
weird
come on,
co-op thing,
be
sure. Yeah.
okay. So
Okay.
as we mentally prepare Jeff, because what we need
Yeah.
to begin talking about is the Final Fantasy VII remake. And again, this is where, to be clear about our list, it's kind of like we've known about this remake now for
Yeah.
years. So it's not as if
Ever,
this is an
forever.
E3 reveal, but at least there was
Yeah.
some more details and some gameplay shown. So from your diehard, can't wait, super excited to get this remake. What is your E3 reaction to finally seeing some more details about the remake, Final Fantasy VII?
I hate this. I hate this game because
I
because
hate that I love you.
exactly. I always say to myself, they're making it episodes. I don't want episodes, and the remake's taking too long. I've lost interest. Then they release this, and I fall right back in. I'm like, okay, I'm in again. I want to see this. I hate the battle system. I'm not sold on it, but then they show elements where I can slow it down to my turn-based style. That's amazing. Now I'm back in. Thanks, Square Enix. Like again, I don't know what it is. So I'm totally on board. It looks great. I can't stop looking and replaying the trailer because it looks like the movie. Like it just looks.
Mm-hmm. It's all the extra layers and intrigue points that they added into the movies, but back into the game that we all loved so much from back in the day.
Yeah.
I always look over at my shelf that I have here. Like I have the 3 discs like just sitting there.
Yes.
I got the original PlayStation one, so it's it's like, man, it's such a weird pull. So they can pull all those intricacies in. I kind of like the battle system they were showing.
But again, it's like
What
a
was like most?
reimagining, right? Like they're doing different things with it, and they had different scenes that they're adding to it. I'm on board. I didn't think I would be.
Yeah. Man, to finally go through, I'm just like, there's still so much stuff. I still can't stand that it's going to be episodic. That
Yeah,
really gets me.
it does, and we will see it cross-gen for sure. They finally revealed that it will be just Midgar, so just the first portion of whatever this is going to be in March. So it
Just
will be
Midgar?
cross-gen,
Oh, that's
just
such a
Midgar.
small.
They're fleshing it out to a 40-hour thing, I think they quoted. So it will be like a totally different, like they wanted to retell. I think they wanted to dive into the story of Jesse a little bit. Can you? I'm replaying the original right now, so you kind of hear these characters, but you don't really go into their story. So maybe they're doing that. But again, it's going to be a PS5, Xbox new console as well. Like that next episode is going to be there. So
It's actually really troubling, like when you say it like that, because like Midgar was a couple hours of the original game. The original game being 80 to 100 hours.
yep,
And you're telling me like that section is going to be 40 hours? Like what is
they're
this going to
yep.
is this going to be like a 700-hour story game? Like how on earth are they going to be able to maintain that
I
pace?
I don't know,
Or am
and
I just
it,
misremembering it because so much grinding that they'll perhaps do away with?
no, well, I don't know because again, I'm playing the original. I just got out of Midgar, so that would be the end of this whole game. If they go into the overworld with the next episode, I don't know what they're gonna do. Are they gonna flesh out every single town to a huge new, story-driven thing? I don't know. Like this seems like a 20-year thing.
But like like I'm trying to think if you had to walk in the open world and like random battles
Yeah,
and sit there and like and level up your character like just by doing random battles for like 2 hours.
I don't know.
Man, so many questions. But
Yeah,
oh, it looks cool.
it
It's
does
like
look cool, man. Like when they showed the scorpion robot thing, I'm like, ah, damn. I was so close to
yeah,
pre-ordering. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it, but it looks great.
yeah. But hopeful if nothing else. But as if that's not enough remake, if that's not enough pull on your old gamer heartstrings, wouldn't you know it? What's announced at E3 as well? The Final Fantasy VIII remaster.
Long
At long
overdue, man.
last, the trailer says.
Right? It's
I
been a while.
I have never played this game.
I am surprised at that.
It's the only one that I skipped. Like I picked up all the more recent ones, and somehow for this one, I just did not like the systems. I didn't like that magic had to be pulled from people. I didn't like that there was salary as opposed to just like making money. I just couldn't. I don't know, something about even the characters I just didn't get into at the time. So maybe this is it. Maybe this will be the time when I finally dip in and try to play this.
Yeah, it certainly is it's going to be the definitive version. They are remastering it because the long story or legend goes that they lost the code to this game and couldn't rebuild it. They could only emulate it. So even the PC version is just an emulated PS1 game. So this is all new, supposedly assets and redrawn or found. So we'll see. It is good to dive in, but I don't know if you're going to like it any better because the systems are kind of old. So who knows?
Well, I don't know. Maybe give it a shot. If anything else, I don't know.
On the go.
For those who like it, and like for you, of course, like it's going to be
Yes.
great. So I think for a lot of like dad gamers out there who grew up with it, they'll be appreciative that it exists.
Yeah.
But one thing that like I am almost willing to pre-order this game.
Whoa.
Borderlands 3.
That is surprising.
It is one of my like favorite series by far. Like I've gotten so much game time out of this series. Absolutely adored it. I think it represents one of my only pre-orders with the pre-sequel.
Oh,
like Borderlands 2.5 the pre-sequel, whatever they called that one.
Yep.
Like that was a pre-order for me. It worked out amazingly. Had an absolute blast with that game.
Yep.
And then even for this one too, like they announced it, and then by way of promotion, they give out a free DLC for Borderlands 2, a game that is like, man, what is it, like 8 years old?
yeah,
like,
it's pretty old.
Right? So they give out this free DLC, full baked story, like a whole new campaign that you can get into as a way to get back into the world and get excited for the next release.
Yep.
Like that is fantastic. Because of course Borderlands 3 being the first direct sequel.
Yeah.
So I am stoked about this one. So probably not going to pre-order because I just, kind of anti pre-order culture, but
yeah,
this would probably be one of the first full price titles I'll pick up in a long time.
Okay.
This I just
Alright.
can't wait for. September, I think.
Yeah, it's around there. I never really got into the Borderlands games, so it was nothing for me, but I'm happy for you.
We all have gaming sins. So I've never
Yeah.
played Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah,
You don't
that's right.
like Borderlands.
Yeah.
We're all getting through. Oh, speaking of gaming sins,
Ah, yeah,
there's a game that will always your forever girlfriend of a game
that's right.
in The Witcher 3. There is a new system that you can spend entirely too much time playing this game on, as Witcher 3 somehow comes to the Switch. Wow, that looks terrible.
It
I've
looks
actually never
terrible,
seen
but
this. I've
you know
never seen
what?
this trailer before.
Oh yeah, it's potato quality. Like that is not YouTube talking. That's the Switch. Again, I don't
That's
know
like,
how they did it. I don't know. It's a huge game. It's gonna run like crap. Like it's not going to be the greatest. But on the go, man, you could play this on the go. I needed this
it'd
3
be a
years
great,
ago.
yeah, it'd be a great system. It'd be a great system to play it in. And if they like, and truth be told, too, like the screen is small enough, and if
Yeah,
the gameplay is like smooth enough, do you really care? It looks fine.
it does.
I mean,
But
obviously on the PS4, like it just absolutely sung.
well,
Like it
and
looked absolutely gorgeous. But
I think this is coming a little bit too late because they released, well, at least iOS is releasing all the game controller updates, so you could just stream it from your PS4 to an iPad or your iPhone with a controller. So maybe this is a little bit too late, but
yeah,
I still recommend it. It's such a good game, even
yeah. I
if
guess
it
if you have the Switch
it's
and you never played it, like it would be.
just squint, it'll be fine. Just
I like that they in the start of this trailer, which looks really,
don't look at
and
it.
again, not
This texture
it's
thing.
really
It's the
bad.
texture. I'm surprised they let that go because the rest of it looks okay ish.
And they mentioned it. They're like, it's like, oh, this is captured on Nintendo Switch. It's like, yeah, I could tell.
Yeah,
Like
hopefully.
I could really tell. It looks like a PC at the absolute worst settings to get it to
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
But hey,
But you know,
power to them, man. I hope a bunch of people buy it because that's just such a great.
it is
That was such a
great
great
story.
game.
We'll play it for years.
So yeah. So now this one is a bit of a. This is a weird one. I'm only bringing it up because there would not be any gaming dads amongst us that had never played a Contra game.
Love
Like
Contra.
I think the Contra games are a real fond memory for most people,
Yeah,
right? So, or
absolutely.
gaming dads specifically. So, they've announced a new Contra game. So, Contra Rogue Corps. So it's isometric, but it's 3D, but your camera's a little bit fixed, so it's always going to be following you.
Cool.
Co-op, I think up to 3. It might just be 2, but co-op game shooter. Like I think it might even be local shooter as well, which would be kind of cool. There's a panda with guns in it for some reason, just to try to show you the type of silliness they're going to get into.
Do whatever.
It's a twin stick, so that was
Yeah.
kind of interesting. So it's going to be like, so it's not just a side scroller one way. So I haven't seen like a twin stick shooter in a long time.
No, I used to play Alien Nation, which was a great game, and this kind of reminds me of that. So if it has that kind of Contra feel, I could see it as a budget title.
Yeah, it'll be. I'll say this: like I'm looking at it, and it's like it looks like it could be some fun.
Like for a
If you
couple
showed
days.
this to me and didn't, if you showed this to me and didn't tell me the title, would I be able to guess that this is a Contra game?
No, there's no way.
Mm,
Because the original Contras had like crazy, like robotic, gruesome kind of things to it too, right? I don't know.
might get it. It feels like a bit of a. I will say this: it kind of feels like a bit of a cash in. It does look like they're gonna have some fun with it. Between some of the weapons I've seen, some of the
Panda.
stuff. It's a panda for God's.
Yeah,
So
there's a panda.
so at least they're gonna have a good time, but maybe a bit of a cash in on the name.
Yeah, see
But
what
we'll
the
see.
price point is. You never know.
Just no, so it's not so much that I'm really excited for this. It's more just notable because that old name kind of always pulling you back in, right?
That's right. Oh, look at the Final
Contra
Fantasy
Rogue
stuff.
Corps. Okay. And do you like specs,
yes.
Jeff?
I love specs.
Do you like
Say some
specs with nothing behind it?
Back those dirty specs.
Well, it's powerful. We are talking about the Xbox Project Scarlet, releasing in 2020. So they've gone official with this is going to be the next Xbox, replacing the Xbox that would never need to be upgraded.
Wow,
And
big. Yeah.
Just teasing about that. I don't think I would believe that at the time, but it was an interesting type of trailer because it was just like people working on machines. They're
Yeah.
talking about how great it's going to be. So it wasn't like a reveal of an actual like visual on the console. It
No,
was
they
basically
didn't.
just saying, "Hey, this will be totally great, guys."
Yeah, they didn't show their hand, that's for sure. They know that Sony just put up their specs for the next one. They didn't show any games, so they're not going to do anything here. That's crazy. So 2020, Trevor, we have to save our pennies now because I'm sure everyone will be trying to get their credit cards out for the next one. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
ready.
Get ready, dads. Yep, the upgrade cycle is coming.
Ugh.
The great
It seems
upgrade
like
cycle.
yesterday. Come on. Like I still have a
Yeah,
launch PS4. Let's just easy. Easy does it.
yeah. And I hope it's good. You know, like I think it benefit us all to have a really competitive Xbox in the next generation. It's not the current one was bad. I don't want to like dig on it too badly, but it just really seems that PlayStation had all the momentum this
Ye-
generation.
Yeah, Xbox
The
never really fully,
exclusives, like
you know.
so if we can have like a really competitive Xbox next time, I think that'd be really great.
Yep.
So here's hoping, but hope you like specs. So that's kind of like so interesting enough. So out of all the titles, and I said there's some really interesting ones. There's the new Ninja Theory game, which is like a punching version of Overwatch.
Yeah.
Just a ton of titles. There's the game where George R. R. Martin of Game of Thrones fame mashed up with a Dark Souls game. So like
Yeah.
there's all these interesting things. But when we went through the list, like those are the ones that were kind of like that.
Cool.
Like these kind of the most notable for us as dads. Now, speaking from a dad perspective, though, this kind of gets us right into this might be in your living room titles. So this
Right.
is all the more kid-friendly type of angles. So it starts off with oops, I turn on the audio.
Oh,
It starts off with Luigi's Mansion 3.
exactly. Nintendo knows where it's at. They know how to reach the family. So,
I don't know, did you ever play any of the Luigi Mansions? I have not.
yeah, I played the first one, and then they are in the arcade. So if you go into any Dave and Buster's or something, they have like
Mhm.
actual suction guns that
Oh,
my
that's
kids have
cool.
played and had a blast. So it's kind of like a Ghostbusters, like a discount Ghostbusters almost. So
Okay.
it's a cool concept. I think it's a little spooky for the young ones. Like I think my 4-year-old, 5-year-old at the time did not want to play, but now he's all about it.
Hmm.
So just warning there. But otherwise, it's pretty cartoony. It's just a little creepy.
Okay. Oh, interesting. You even went that far. But yeah, I always love the Luigi sneak though.
Yeah, I know,
Just like
right?
crawling.
Yeah, it's a cute game though. It's really playable. Pick up and play whenever with the kids. So it's a neat one to see.
Luigi getting his due.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so then now one that is certainly going to make the little ones excited though, Pokemon. So we have the new Sword and Pokemon Shield
Yeah.
games released,
Yeah.
much to the furor of the internet. But we do have the next iterations of the Pokemon games. Now you had heard some of the uproar about it. What was that all about?
Yeah, a lot of people think that well, they don't like that you can't have the decks of all the monsters they're region based, so you can't ever get a full dex of Pokemon. That's one problem. And a lot of
Hmm.
it has still the Pokemon Go catch mechanic, which people still don't like. And the animations and character models are a little bit less than what was expected from a new age Pokemon game. So my kids don't care. They are super excited for this one. They want it now. So it'll be interesting to see. Pokemon's really, it's a good one for kids. It's not, no issues there for me. And it's always fun to see them catch new things and talk about it. And I'm
Hmm.
telling you now, if you don't know the names of these things and your kids are into Pokemon, you will know the names of these things and their weaknesses and all their stats. So
Score Bunny versus Bunnelby.
yeah,
Jeez.
there you go. That is it. That's what it is. So yeah, no, it's cute, fun. A lot of the older Pokemon players are just not too excited about it, but I think they'll still get it. It's still a new Pokemon.
They'll still buy it.
Yeah,
The- Let's
and
see.
it's
You
easy.
encountered a wide wing gull. Oh, that's a little bit boring. That's the
Yeah,
best
I
you could
know.
do.
I think they're kind of running out of creature models too and names. But again, on the Switch, on the go, it's great. It's different than I have a couple on the Wii that a little bit too hard to play at home when they're sitting in front of something. So to take this on the go is kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So you might have heard of a little game called Minecraft, and the interesting take this time now is called Minecraft Dungeons. So this is a supposed mashup of Diablo and Minecraft. So isometric view, dungeon crawling, party-based, I believe, but merged with the world of Minecraft. And like watching some of this gameplay, it is really Diablo inspired. Like,
yeah,
it's
absolutely. I love how
it
they
is not pulling punches.
They just reinvent Minecraft continually. Like this is a great addition. I would think that this would almost be a mod for the original.
Yeah, or like a cheap like a fake version that somebody like released, like like totally not mine.
Yeah,
like Stonecraft dungeon version. You know what I mean? Like one of those like those off-brand Minecraft versions,
right.
but like
Stonecraft. I love it.
Man, Party of 4. It looks like it has all the charm of Minecraft. Looks like all the building of it, except mashed with a dungeon crawler.
Yeah,
it's like, man, that looks like a great time. And like it'd be kind of great too, because if you want to, I think from a dad perspective, you're trying to migrate your kid into some slightly older games.
Yes,
like this seems like a perfect type of fit because they're already in the Minecraft world, but then now you can kind of teach them into like their first dungeon crawler. This could be baby's first dungeon crawler, basically.
I like that idea.
Without being overly too simplistic.
No, it's
so
like
that looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I love it. So speaking of first and such, like the no, so Forza Horizon 4 is not a new game.
No,
but the expansion that they mentioned and the trailer for it, I think like this arguably was one of the best things about E3, I think, this year. Like this trailer just took everybody by surprise. There's something about that contrast of super serious racing sim mashed up with the silliness of Lego, especially it's like against the modern videos and everything. So it is Forza Horizon mashing up with Lego, where it's like Lego pieces, Lego worlds, Lego cars.
Yeah.
So imagine like a Lego version of Bugatti racing an actual Ferrari, ripping through a Lego city, smashing everything. It's like, yes,
I love it. I see all these cars in there that are rebuilt with Lego. Like I saw a Subaru rally car WRX, and it's just amazing to see. And my face lit up when this trailer played because they did have the everybody's awesome, everything is awesome playing while they're ripping through this on Lego. So it's just perfect. I love it. I love what they've done with this. They've gone from the Hot Wheels to now Lego. They're just having fun, and that's what games are all about. So totally think this is one for the kids to pick up if you have Forza Xbox, I guess.
Man, that's such the way to say it. Fun. It just like, there seems to be this new surge of people just like having fun with video games. It's like video games are about having a good time.
Right.
Let's just get silly with like a racing game and have like a great time with this. So this is like, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Happy to see that one. So now for anyone who might wants to destroy their childhood, you might remember like a super weird, not weird, but just like it ubiquitous. It was on every PC, Commander Keen. This sprite, bizarrely difficult game of a dude in a helmet, like running around trying to get like energy beams, like going through these various worlds. I mostly remember it as shareware, where it's like I don't think I ever owned the full game. It was only ever like the free version based on like a floppy disk.
Right.
But it was a 2D platformer from all of our youth. So Commander Keen. And they relaunched it. They relaunched it as a mobile game.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I never played Commander Keen, but my wife did. And she shushed me during the E3 conference to watch this because this is her childhood along with yours, apparently. So she's not too keen on this take on it, but totally remembers trying to beat those levels way back in the day.
Yeah, like again, I'm just curious if it's going to be anything faithful to the original, because like the characters are not the two characters are showing are not Keen. He's not like the character you used to actually play with.
Probably their kids or something.
It looks like you're trying to like steal elements from a race of bad dogs, which I don't particularly remember. So it feels fairly off. Again, it kind of just seems like it's a name for no reason. You could have called this just like Space Platformer 6, and it would have been about the same difference, right?
You were all about the
But
knockoffs. I love it, like stone cutters and
yeah, yeah, and crafters. But yeah, I don't. It was just to hear it was really bizarre because like I grew up on these games. Like this was on every PC I ever owned when I was a kid. So it's like, all right, well, Commander Keen's back, man. This is the gritty reboot of Commander Keen. It's happening.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so this now another one announced, Planet Zoo.
Yes.
So it looks like it's a new game for that. I mean, not much to say about this one. It's just I know that this particular game has a very happy following. Frontier, creators of Elite Dangerous, one of our favorites, of course. But Planet Zoo it's always a hit. It's a type of thing that I think with you could play with kids.
Yes, absolutely.
If you'd like to, or get them into it, so they're kind of doing some management type stuff. So it's a very friendly game, very relaxing games for adults. Otherwise,
yeah.
I don't know if you have any thoughts on it, but it's just kind of straightforward. Like, cool,
yeah, no,
new Planet Zoo.
It looks kind of cool just to bring the kids in and manage a little zoo and have the animals run around, because they did that other one, the Planet Coaster. So it's good to see them kind of go into this one. It's neat.
Yeah, so hopefully a reasonable price, and looks like a great little game. So could be a great one. And I was ending off on a high note. A absolute favorite of gaming dads for sure. Like we get so many gaming dad victories, so many great posts online that we see from people whose first full game that their kid ever completed, the first like 100% they ever got, the first game that they ever played with their kid is always Lego whatever, and even like Lego Star Wars specifically. Now in this case though, they're releasing the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga.
Yeah,
so this is all the original, like that. What is it, like 9 movies?
It's about that, yeah.
That kind of span.
Yep.
Yeah, all 9 filled, one new game. So so if you'd want to bring your kids through, kind of like, I don't want to call it the original, but you want to bring them through the current Star Wars universe, all the movies that have been released, here it is. We got
that's right.
It's the brand new one.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be like a absolute blast. That was just cool to see. I think a Lego game is. Are your kids still into Lego games, or have you ever played one with them?
I have played them before with them. They love the Lego Worlds one. They've kind of grown out of them now, but even seeing this as an adult, how they've redone the cutscenes in like a Lego form and made fun of the original scenes is cute, and it's fun. And any recommendations we give as dads to kind of like kids with gaming, any Lego game is a great starter. So this one might be to jump in on 9 games. Yeah, we'll see. Especially if you use Star Wars.
It's a perfect time to, like, because right now it's been long enough from when I've watched a bunch of the older Star Wars, like to kind of go through the story again, even would be kind of a nice trip down memory lane. So I could see that being a great time.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, so that's the 2 lists. So like that. So from the adult standpoint, like the gaming dad standpoint, we're looking at Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, Breath of the Wild, the sequel, Final Fantasy VII Remake with a lot more details, Final Fantasy VIII Remake, Borderlands 3, Witcher coming to Switch, barely, Contra Rogue Corpse, and Xbox teasing their new system as the upgrade cycle is upon us. And then from the kids' side, we're looking at Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, Minecraft Dungeons, which looks like a fantastic introduction for Minecraft fans and to dungeon crawlers. Forza Horizon for Lego, which for me I think is still like probably one of the winners of E3. If I had to like ping it, that was just such a pleasant, happy surprise.
Yeah.
Commander Keen, just destroy your childhood.
Right.
Planet Zoo, and Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
Yay.
So that's kind of a dad's take on it. So I think with this, we would, I'd be very open in the next couple episodes to doing some amendments based on any other dad's takes. So to gaming dads listening, if you have your own thoughts, if there's something that we missed that you think is actually a really perfect fit for a gaming dad, like we'd love to hear from you. Just like write us in. And speaking of writing in, it's very much time to announce the start of Summer of Dad Beers.
Yes.
So a little segment we always do during the summer months while the temperature rises is to dad beer picks of the week. So Jeff and myself will go out and try a few beers. A very difficult job, but one that we
have to do it.
feel passionate about. So we always like to come up with a couple beers and recommend something towards the end of the week. If you have a delicious beer that you would like us to discuss or feature, send it along our way. We'd love to review some dad picks over the coming months as we kind of get into a summer type vibe and await some of these titles.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts from your side on E3 2019?
E3 was okay this year. I think a lot of the audience was missing Sony. How they bowed out, just saying that they're kind of done with this generation and they have nothing new to announce. So I think we still ended up with some great games and some great dad games to look forward to, and it will be interesting to see what happens in the next year with new consoles coming down the way and new money to spend. So
what new money to spend?
What new money? Yeah, get out there, start mowing lawns, Trevor. That's
start shelving some driveways. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. But that, folks, will wrap it up for this week. Thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. So if you want to reach out to us with a question, a beer pick, a review yourself of something you saw with E3 2019, we'd love to hear from you. So you can go to our website at newdadgaming.com or find us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, any of the other podcasting services. If you like the show, we would really appreciate a review, a like, and a share as we try to get out to as many gaming dads as possible. Until next time, my name is Trevor, and I have a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 8-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Perfect. We'll see you next week.
All right. See ya.